The Oscars as a pricing game, from movie review to market thesis. Flint West reporting. People think the Oscars are a verdict. They are not. They are a market. And like every market, they do not price truth. They price behavior. What moved an audience emotionally while watching a film is irrelevant. What matters is who votes, how they vote, and which bucket a film lands in. That is the first mistake most people make. They treat the Academy like a single mind. It is not. The Oscars are 3 elections happening at once, inside one ceremony, wearing the same tuxedo. Section 1. Election 1, Prestige. This is where meaning lives. Best Picture, Director, Screenplay, Lead Acting. These categories reward seriousness, authorial control, moral weight, and cultural safety. This is where the Academy tells itself a story about who it is. Films like One Battle After Another live here, not because they are flawless, but because they look like what winners are supposed to look like. Director-driven, actor-forward, literary source material, clean narrative arc, low embarrassment risk. Prestige categories are not about spectacle. They are about reputation management. Election 2, Craft. This is where competence wins. Production design, costume makeup, cinematography. These are not emotional votes. They are professional ones. Craft voters do not ask whether a film was moving. They ask whether it was hard to do and whether it was done well. This is why Frankenstein sits comfortably at 3 wins. Gothic worlds, practical effects, period detail. It is not trying to win the room. It is trying to win departments, and departments vote rationally. Election 3, Spectacle and Engineering. This is where confusion usually enters. Best sound is not about music. It is not about mood. It is not about what lingers after leaving the theater. Best Sound is an engineering award. It rewards dynamic range, spatial complexity, technical capture, and system stress. That is why F1 leads. Nothing is missing emotionally. The evaluation lens is simply different. Sound professionals do not vote like audiences. They vote like pilots reviewing aircraft. This content is brought to you by Bobby Giggs. Promote your brand here and reach a wide audience across platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Follow the links in the description to get started. Section 2, Genre and the Silent Tax. Horror does not win Oscars. That is not true. What is true is this. Genre only wins when it stops behaving like genre. Get Out was not rewarded because it was scary. The Silence of the Lambs did not win because it was violent. They won because they were psychologically framed, morally legible, and prestige-coded. This is why Sinners is such an interesting case. It is horror, but it behaves like prestige, which means it does not compete everywhere. It clusters. Section 3. Clustering is the whole game. Markets do not care about films. They care about outcome profiles. Sinners does not need to win Best Picture to win big. It needs to dominate its lane. And its lane is Best Original Score, Cinematography, Casting, and Screenplay. That is 4. That is why Sinners hitting 4 or more is not optimism. It is pattern recognition. Section 4. Acting and Restraint. Michael B. Jordan did not swing for the fences. That is good. The performance is a Goldilocks performance, present, controlled, ensemble first. That is great filmmaking, but Best Actor is not a filmmaking award. It is a spotlight award, which is why Timothée Chalamet leads. Not because he is better, because the performance fits the historic Best Actor template. Visible transformation, singular focus, narrative clarity. Jordan's work elevates the film. Chalamet's work is the film. Markets price that distinction ruthlessly. Section 5, the final lesson. The Oscars are not a review. They are not a reward system for taste. They are not a referendum on what moved an audience. They are a pricing game. Each category has different voters, different incentives, and different definitions of best. Once this is understood, everything snaps into place. Why sound does not equal score, why genre wins sideways, why films do not sweep, they cluster. And once clustering is understood, arguments about movies stop. What remains is outcome logic. Section 6, the window. The ceremony does not take place until March 2026, which means the game is not over. It is still trading. This creates a window to binge the frontrunners, and more importantly, a window to observe the lanes. Which films are being discussed as important? Which are being praised as technically impressive? Which performances are described as bold versus restrained? These words are not reviews. They are price signals. Prediction markets do not price emotional reaction. They price coordination. The close Enjoy the films. Let them surprise. Let them resonate. But do not confuse that experience with how the Academy votes. By the time envelopes open in March, the real work will already have been done. Quietly, probabilistically, category by category. At that point, it is no longer about watching the Oscars. It is about trading them. Flint West signing off.